Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. Firebrand spokesperson of the Congress party, Supriya has landed in trouble after her Instagram handle posted a rather distasteful and sexist comment against BJP's Mandi constituency candidate Kangana Ranaut. While such comments are not new or exclusive to leaders of any one party, what did surprise many was the crudeness of the remark coming from the handle of a woman politician herself. Now, Supriya has distanced herself from this, claiming that her social media team member made this post and that person has been identified and since fired. But does this absolve her? How does someone of her team have the gall to think that such a sexist remark was going to be par for the course? Doesn't Supriya actually have double responsibility here, given she's in charge of her own handle, no matter who handles it on a day-to-day basis, and she's also party's overall social media in charge? What's most concerning is political parties' attitude towards women candidates, particularly who may come from entertainment background, because invariably they all face such comments by politicians themselves. It also shows that while parties may claim they stand for more female participation and candidates, they themselves have extraordinary biases against women. And the moment a woman is declared a candidate, she better brace herself for below-the-belt attacks. Of all parties, how does it look that this is coming from the Congress, a party that claimed credit for the recently passed Women's Reservation Bill? In fact, in the last couple of weeks, you've had a statement from Rahul Gandhi claiming to fight Shakti associated with Hindu Dharma. BJP was quick to point out that that is an attack on the female divine worshipped in Hinduism. Now you have a female leader herself seen attacking another woman candidate. Is there a wide gap emerging in the idealistic positions that parties may take and the everyday comments and behavior of their leaders? More importantly, is the action by the Congress party taken in this case enough? We take that question to our guests in just a bit, but first, let me break down what both parties, what both women, part of this entire controversy have had to say. So Supriya, in her defense, has said that many people have access to her Facebook and Instagram accounts, and that's of course not uncommon. While Kangana Ranaut, actor turned politician's first few comments were that in her career she has played women of all kinds, women who've had professions of all kinds. Supriya further said that someone else has made what she herself admitted was an inappropriate post on Kangana Ranaut, but the actor escalated the attack on Congress, saying that there must be an attempt to free our daughters from the shackles of prejudices. Now, Congress's social media cell chief went on to claim that anyone who knows her is aware that she doesn't make any personal and indecent comments against women particularly. Kangana Ranaut on her part has said that there is a need for society to rise above the curiosity about women's body alone, because that's where these comments really come from. Supriya interestingly also brought in an alleged copycat account of hers on the platform X, but it's unclear how is that relevant as far as this post is concerned. Kangana Ranaut meanwhile has said that people should refrain from using even sex workers' challenging lives or circumstances as some kind of an abuse or slur, particularly on other women. Finally, Supriya said that the entire mischief began on the parody account on X, which I referred to earlier, which has been reported since. Again, this doesn't explain why her team reposted such a post instead of highlighting it and acting against the one they saw on the parody account. Kangana finally also said that every woman, despite her circumstances and profession particularly, deserves dignity. Now, the question that is on top of everybody's mind is, has the Congress done enough? We ask that because Supriya has pinned the blame on her team and hasn't really issued an explicit apology for what happened on her handle. Meanwhile, Congress sources also say that there are at least 6 people who have access to Supriya's account, and as I mentioned, this is a routine practice. It is followed by most politicians or celebrities. There is a team that handles their social media account. But despite that, it is very much known, particularly if you're a public personality, that ultimately the responsibility for any post shared will be yours, and I'm sure Supriya is aware of that. All that Congress has done is laid off the person they say made the post, but is that action enough? The larger question is also about how female actors are particularly easy targets. In the past too, we've seen that when female actors turn politicians, they face such insults, and there's a long history, and of course this is not exclusive to any one party alone. From the Congress itself, just as recently as 2022, their UP leader Ajay Rai had taken a jibe at Union Minister Smriti Irani, saying that she only comes to Amethi, her constituency, to show latkas and jhatkas. Upon facing massive backlash, he said that he didn't intend to insult anyone, but of course the damage is always done. Similarly, there's the DMK. Their leader Sadai Sadiq had called Khushbu and other actors joining the BJP items. Why should such comments be reserved for female actors alone, not really for male actors? It's a big question. In 2020, Shiv Sena UBT Sanjay Raut had called Kangana Ranaut herself a haramkhor ladki during a TV interview, which drew the ire of many. In the year 2019, SP leader Azam Khan had sparked a controversy when he had said that Jayaprata, the female actor turned politician, wears khaki underwear. When confronted, he said he didn't take anyone's name. Congress leader Sajjan Verma in 2019 said the BJP has only one good face, Hema Malini, and the party makes her dance on classical songs to woo voters. Now, what is the need to bring that into the discourse, and why do women particularly face such attacks? Now, Supriya Shrenate's remark comes just before the 2019 Lok Sabha polls. Will insulting women voters cost, or women candidates in this case, cost the Congress and the India bloc? Here's why we pose this question, because look at the women participation as voters that is going up. In the 2019 turnout for the Lok Sabha elections, women voters were marginally higher than male voters. This is, of course, as per the turnout eventually. And if you look forward to 2024, eligible voters, women are nearly as much as male voters. So that there are roughly 50 crore male voters registered. There are about 47 crore female voters registered. The total electorate this time is expected to be 97 crores. But the turnout is increasingly being seen as higher amongst women voters than male voters. So is it a good idea to continue to mock women and female candidates while also asking for more female participation, especially as far as reservation goes? That's the big question coming up, the big debate with our guests. Has the Congress done enough when it comes to sending the right message?
मेरे फेसबुक और इंस्टाग्राम अकाउंट का एक्सेस कई लोगों के पास है। उसमें से किसी एक व्यक्ति ने आज एक बेहद घृणित और आपत्तिजनक पोस्ट की।
हर महिला, चाहे वो टीचर हो, चाहे वो एक्ट्रेस हो, चाहे वो जर्नलिस्ट हो, किसी भी तरीके की जो महिला है, वो डिग्निटी जो है वो डिजर्व करती हैं।
इस पूरे विषय पर इतने घंटे होने के बावजूद भी ना प्रियंका वाड्रा जी का, ना राहुल जी का, ना खड़गे जी का कोई बयान आया।
सुप्रिया श्रीनेत ने कह दिया कि किसी और ने किया है, हैक हो गया था, किसी और ने कह दिया, तो बात समाप्त।
Taking this across to our guests joining us, Meeta Chakrabarti of the Congress Party, Anuja Kapoor of the BJP joining us. I'm also joined by Susiben Shah, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena Shinde faction, and Andrea D'Souza, actor and political activist. Let me begin with Meeta Chakrabarti first. Meeta, I have laid down the questions that arise out of the what has transpired. Is the Congress action enough? Have you done enough to convince the voters that you're a party that is different when it comes to these episodes?
Okay, good evening to all your viewers and good evening to my fellow co-panelists as well. Now, firstly, I'll talk about Supriya Shrenate's alleged post that we are discussing here. It has been categorically stated by the alleged author Supriya Shrenate that these are not her words, She has not made this post. There was a Twitter parody account, a fake account in Twitter, from which the content was taken by mistake by one of the team members who had access to her account. She has categorically gone on record. She has the point at which she had seen the post, she has deleted the post. She had reported the Twitter fake account to Twitter, and she had gone on record to state that these are not her words. Anyone who has worked with Supriya Srinath, and I have personally worked with her in the digital communication department, we know it for sure that she always stands up for women's rights, and this cannot be her words. So first of all, the thing that is so-called creating a stir, and I'm really amazed that BJP does not have any real issues to talk about, is actually a post that is actually it's a fake post.
It's not fake. It was eventually posted from her official Instagram handle.
And she has, and the alleged author has gone on record and stated that these are not.
No, I'm not even calling her the author of the post. We take her word that she did not post this. It is not out of the ordinary for a social media team to handle a personality's social account. But is that enough? Ultimately, you're responsible. Like I mentioned, Supriya is actually the media chairperson of the media cell. The social media cell in Congress party. What does it say? 1 second, Meeta, what does it say of the Congress party that your social media team member felt this was an appropriate post to post from a leader's account?
Exactly. She had taken the responsibility, and you need to give me some uninterrupted time to complete my point. She had taken responsibility of this. Hence, she had come on record. She had given a clarification. Appropriate action would be taken against the social media team member who had actually initiated the post. Action had been taken against the parody Twitter account, and it has been reported. And I don't think there are too many people who actually come out in the public and take responsibility of words that are spoken allegedly on their behalf. Or
but has she taken responsibility?
But it is really rich coming from BJP party, a party that, according to the Association of Democratic Reforms in 2018, has the maximum number of lawmakers with serious charges of crime against women.
No, forget the BJP. Wouldn't an ordinary person in India today be asking the question?
Woman dignity.
No, forget the BJP. This isn't just about the BJP, even though the attack came towards a BJP candidate. As I mentioned, this happens invariably to a lot of female candidates or female politicians, particularly if they seem to have an entertainment industry background. And I mentioned the attacks that have come in against Smriti Irani, for example, against Congress party leaders. But I'm not suggesting this is exclusive to the Congress party alone. My point is, you have claimed that this is...
What exactly are we discussing here and debating here tonight? Because when Supriya Srinath had gone on record and categorically stated that these are not her words, an appropriate action will be initiated against any social media team member who has made this post in her account has been accessed by other people. When she has made categorically these points, are we in India so deprived of real issues?
Is this not a real issue? I thought women's dignity was a real issue.
Had Supriya ji not gone on record and stated that she has not made this post, this would have been a real issue.
But it was still made by somebody who's part of the Congress's social media team.
You can try, madam, you can try and manufacture
No, it's not like her account was hacked and it was made by a random person. I'm sorry. This is a post made from your leader's account by a member of your social media team. How did that person think this is an appropriate message from the Congress party? How did that person think that?
When Supriya Srinath had gone on record and stated that these are not her words and had apologized and had stated...
She's not apologized for it. Actually, she hasn't apologized for it. I'm not sure why you're saying she has apologized. She hasn't made any explicit apology for the same. She has called the post inappropriate, and I mentioned that duly, but she hasn't apologized for it. Anuja, are you not convinced with the defense that has come not just from the person concerned, which is Supriya Srinath, but from the party itself, from the Congress party itself? If you do desire more action, what is it? And has the BJP in the past taken appropriate actions on such instance?
Jai Shri Ram, Shivani ji. To start with, I would just say to the spokesperson of Congress, you are on the same team where Supriya is standing right now. So you're going to sack one of your own members, one of your own person, for tweeting what you have Congress party has asked them to do. This is what is happening. You say she does not speak ill of others. I don't know. So joker kahi ka, badtameez aadmi, nali ka keeda.
There are so many
This is the
examples.
ones you are going to talk about. Ma'am, I was not speaking. So if you're going to speak, I'm going to tell you that there is something wrong with you there. So what happens is, when the same woman speaks, Gandhi Nali ka Keeda to Sambit Patra, to Smriti Irani, she speaks a derogatory remark. Urmila Matondkar resigned from Congress 2 hours back. In 24th April 2012, I have a tweet of Supriya Shinte who is talking about and tweeted about, क्यों मैडम इटली के सारे डांस बार बंद हो गए थे क्या? Again, I have the same thing with me. Now you have also spoken about Urmila Matondkar at that time. Do you want me to read that thing again for you? Because this is very insulting when a woman of that caliber who speaks about a woman of the other and of the same family, she speaks about Urmila Matondkar that माल यहाँ है और मेरे युवा नेता थाईलैंड जाता है, स्वदेशी अपनाओ, पैसा बचाओ. Again, so I would like to ask you, who has changed? You or the media or the people around? The derogatory remarks, Supriya keeps on speaking on the media, on the platform itself. Everybody has heard her. Ask why your Urmila Matondkar just now, after in 2 hours, she has resigned. Because of you people, the people who talk about Ladki Bachao, and sorry, they do not even talk about Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, because that's our thing. Yours is about Ladki hu lad sakti hu. So where is it? Who's fighting this battle? Because Supriya, who does not even know that her handle is being taken up by the other people. So please explain, who are those people? Is the Soros who's done it? Who is the one? Because
It's a person part of our social media team. Anuja, the question I asked you was this. The person
Shivani, this is a
concerned,
very serious
one
matter.
second, the person concerned has allegedly been sacked. This is what the Congress sources are telling us. Or at least some action has been initiated against the person who has been identified as the one who published the post. What else do you want?
This is a downfall taken by an innocent person. She was the one. Everybody knows it. We have seen her vocabulary on and off the record. This is the one, the way she talks about. She talks the walk. And who are the ones who are now being quiet? Why Sonia Gandhi doesn't speak on this? Why Rahul Gandhi doesn't speak on this? Why Priyanka Gandhi doesn't speak on this? It's the same situation like Marma Mitra has done it. The same situation, the India Alliance have been together on this. Why these people now are quiet? This is something which
let me go across, one second, let me go across to Andrea D'Souza as well. Andrea, is this sufficient behavior? Is this appropriate behavior to begin with? And is this sufficient action from a party that, calls everybody else sexist and misogynist, but, quietly just tries to bury something like this by saying, oh, some random person from our social media team did it? Ultimately, it's your responsibility.
Absolutely.
Okay, good evening, Shivani. And first of all, I need to answer one thing to Anuja. I hope I've taken her name right. What she's talking about, those tweets about Urmila and whatever she has spoken about, those are fake tweets. Please, madam, please do not follow WhatsApp University. वो सब fake tweets है जो आप जिसको आप बता रहे हो. Alright. Now coming back to your question, Shivani.
Yeah.
Before I could even start, I'm amazed to see BJP women actually open their mouth, because I have always seen them in mute mode when it comes to women. They haven't spoken when it comes to Manipur. They haven't spoken when the rest of the women were, but please, when I'm talking, do not talk in the middle, yeah? Women wrestlers, when they were fighting against a molester who is apparently still a member of parliament. And another, just ladki ki baat hum log kar rahe, that is Kangana Ranaut. I do not stand by the unethical comment, because that's absolutely inappropriate. But I don't think so. I think where were these people when Kangana Ranaut said Urmila Matondkar, she called Urmila Matondkar a soft porn artist? Why didn't anyone speak that time? Isn't that a dignity? Wasn't that a woman's dignity? I mean, calling Swara Bhaskar degrade, calling me degrade, calling me saying 500 le riya hai, which I don't do. That again, the similar post, similar thing had happened to me. What had happened to Supriya? Similar thing had happened to me. Similar thing had happened to me. Someone else had done it on my behalf, and I have been scrutinized for this till today. I've been getting it from BJP. Who had done it? That was a fraud done by a BJP member, Tejinder Bagga. But I have been facing this all throughout. Why? Because it's not my mistake. It was done by somebody else.
No, but was it your handle?
I apologize. Similarly, why should
Andrea, what was it your handle?
It is not my handle, but it was done by somebody.
You are ultimately responsible
My
for your
handle is
handle.
very
You cannot say just because somebody else has been given some professional duty to post on my behalf doesn't mean that I am responsible for what goes out. Ultimately, you're the face.
So you mean
the public is following that handle because of you, not
you
because of who's running your social media account.
Shivani, one minute, Shivani. When Anuja was talking, you didn't speak in the middle, so do not speak in the middle over here.
No,
you
but
asked me a question,
it is your responsibility.
You just said I'm not responsible. So mean to say you all get the liberty to call me 500 lady are. You get the liberty to tell ki chilla rahi hai. You know what abuse Supriya goes through? Do you have any idea?
So nobody is defending that. No, I'm sorry. Don't try to play victim here, Andrea. I'm sorry. If you are posting, if you are making posts on social media, you get all kinds of comments. That is not a defense for attacking a woman and asking for what the rate in the mandi is.
We have taken. The action has been taken. The man has been removed.
So is that enough? That's what I asked you.
Who has done the derogatory demand?
That's precisely what I asked you.
What do you want? You want an apology? No, what do you want? You want an apology? You want
Should
an
that
apology?
not be the basic?
If you want an apology, first apologize for calling Sonia Gandhi ji bar bala. Apologize for calling Swara Bhaskar degrade. Apologize. Of course, first you want to apologize.
So two things. One second. Two things that you've mentioned, Andrea. First of all, this is not just about BJP and Congress. I am talking about female actors particularly who come from an entertainment background and maybe get tickets and work as politicians, particularly getting attacked for their bodies. Andrea, one second, have some patience, just 1 second. I am talking about this mindset. Now, if you are saying that because there are 2 comments from BJP, therefore 2 comments from Congress should be cancelled out, fine, that's your argument. I am just wondering if the public is going to buy that. But Suzy Ben Shah, she made an interesting point, and I don't know where you stand on this, and this is an interesting debate that Andrea is triggering, that Kangana herself has called people certain things. She is a very bold person, she makes very bold statements. So it shouldn't be that big a deal if Kangana gets it, even though this post is bad and inappropriate and Supriya Shane did not do it, so don't blame her. But the suggestion is that even if Supriya had done it, who is Kangana to complain about it, because she says things about people too. What do you think?
Jai Hind Bharat and Jai Maharashtra. I would just like to make one clear statement that all of us first should condemn any statement made against any women of any political affiliations across party lines. We all should stand for each other. A wrong is a wrong. Too wrong and too right does not cancel each other. Now, as far as Kangana ji is concerned, she's an award winner. She's won various awards, national awards, Filmfare Awards, IFA Awards. She's a Padma Shri. She's a woman who stood her own ground. You remember the High Court also, passed strictures against the government when her whole house was torn down. I think close to 2 crores. My simple submission here is that the Congress party first accept that it was a wrong post.
No, they've done that. Supriya herself has called it inappropriate.
Hold on. No. The point is, no post is ever made on anyone's social media account till it is approved by the person. Especially when you are heading the social media account of a party, of an important party. No one is given that authority, and I'm sure Congress knows that once you are in public life, you must rise to the occasion and ensure that, bhaiya, ये गलत पोस्ट हो गया, कैसे हो सकता है? You are supposed to be responsible for everything that you do. Secondly, the gentleman who's been asked to resign, he's made a scapegoat. We don't know whether at all he was the person who posted. We have to believe what the Congress party says.
No, okay, let me take that to Meeta. Meeta, you know, this is the point I keep coming back to. What is Supriya Shrane's professional responsibility? Because one, this post was made from her account, which she is accepting, even if it was by someone else inadvertently and in poor taste. But she is actually the chairperson of social media for the Congress party. As a professional, it's embarrassment. It's embarrassing that her team is doing it.
No, let me complete my one last sentence.
Let Meeta come in for 30 seconds, ma'am. I'll come back to you. Ms. Shah, I'll come back to you.
Shivani, as a professional media personality, I have always known you to be a very fair anchor. So please do not interrupt while I'm trying to make a point, because the flow of thoughts gets disrupted. Number one, Supriya Shraneut had gone on record and taken responsibility, called this content of the post inappropriate and wrong. And I'm agreeing with the other co-panelists who just spoke that across the political divide, women need to stand up for each other.
Exactly.
Completely, yes. This content was inappropriate. The post was deleted. What usually used to happen is that Supriya ji handles her own Twitter account by herself. So she would normally make her content available on the Twitter, and the Facebook and the Instagram teams who had access to her account would normally post the content from her Twitter account to the Facebook and Instagram platforms. Now here, by mistake, they followed a fake account, a parody account.
How did they make that mistake? I'm sorry, Meeta ji, I'm interrupting you. No, how did they make that mistake if they are in charge? No, 1 second.
Please.
Okay, you finish. Finish.
Please 30 more seconds. They made a mistake. Professionally, they made a mistake. It was acknowledged. It was accepted that the content was inappropriate.
Okay, can I come in now? You're saying the same thing over and over.
However, when the Prime Minister says 50 crore ka girlfriend, had he gone on record and apologized?
Okay, so again, I'm not getting into whataboutery. For me, this is not about whataboutery. But Meeta ji, can I come in now? I find it a little bit. 1 second, ma'am. Ma'am, 1 second.
BJP is a party that protects lawmakers with crime charges and rape charges against them.
Suzy Ben Shah, this is my point. If the same team, and I'm guessing it is the same team, handles your Instagram, your Twitter, your X account now, and let's say your Facebook account, I am not believing that one person of that team did not know that that account was a parody account and made the stupid mistake of copying a derogatory post from a parody account into Supriya Shraneut's official account. I don't buy that. Ma'am, I don't buy that. That is professional. That is professional incompetency of the highest order. If your social media team did not know what other posts have been made from your other handles, I find that hard to believe.
It's a complete hogwash. First, they must accept that Supriya ji made a wrong statement, made a derogatory statement, and must unconditionally apologize. That's the beginning. But the problem with the Congress party is that they don't want to accept that it was a mistake by Supriya ji. How can you make a unknown person a scapegoat? What are we talking about? And then to say that we didn't know that someone posted. It also must be stated that you only brought down the comment after a big hue and cry was raised by responsible people, responsible women, political people like us.
Okay.
Till then it was very much there.
Okay, I don't know how long it was there, but well, that again does not look good. But final comments, Andrea, I come back to you to the same question. People who in public life who claim that they have better standards or they espouse to better standards cannot hide behind other people's behavior when things go wrong. That's the basic premise on what you are judged as a person. As a party, has the Congress party done enough?
I mean, first of all, I don't understand. I mean, she has already come out in open. Shivani, she's already come out in open. Tell me how many people have come out in open and actually said, sorry, galti ho gayi hai, sorry. Sorry nahi bola.
Shivani.
One by one, please, one by one, let her finish.
The way she spoke.
Shivani.
In the way she
Anuj,
spoke,
I'm coming
it was
to you
very
next,
clear
one by
that she was not, it was not her. It was not her fault. It was not her fault to do it. Yes, I agree. She is the head. She is everything, as what you say. But my dear, I do not talk when you're talking. Why do you all talk? Why do you all? I don't understand. What kind of debate is this? Can you be a civilized person?
One by one, one by one. Yes,
Shivani, why
Andrea,
don't people
finish.
get
Andrea,
civilized,
finish. Yeah.
She's not letting me talk in the middle. She's constantly talking. Okay.
Not at all.
As I said, Shivani,
One.
that see, this is what you know. Then you make
Can I
people
just
forget
have
what
Andrea
they
with me?
talk.
Can
What
I
are you
just?
trying to do, man?
I have limited time, Andrea. Can you please? I'll give you 20 more seconds. Please
Yes,
finish
I
your
know,
thought.
but she's constantly making me forget what I want to talk.
Okay, finish your thought.
Yeah. So as I said, Shivani, so this is now see, she actually made me forget what I was supposed to be talking. This is what exactly BJP does on a debate, basically.
Okay.
I don't know what you were asking. I just forgot what you were asking.
Okay, never mind. Anuja, the question I do want to ask you is, look at the track record of your party, for example, and your leaders. When have
Look
you
at it,
actually
baby.
acted on people who make derogatory, misogynistic statements? Look
Congress
at just what has
was
happened
the
today.
first
Dilip
derogatory
Ghosh.
girlfriend
Dilip
by
Ghosh
Prime
is in
Minister
dock.
Modi.
Dilip Ghosh is in dock for making
The
a
lady
rather
never speaks.
distasteful comment against Mamta Banerjee. What has your party done?
Didi, oh
Anuja.
Didi.
So what I will talk about quickly
Nothing.
is also about Priyanka Chaturvedi. I would also talk about Nagma. I would also talk about Aditi Singh. What Priyanka Gandhi has done with her, and I asked her husband to take the ticket and then defame his own wife during the election time. This is what is happening, and this is what is going to go about.
Okay, my question,
when they are
Anuja.
talking about that is where when they are talking about the stuff, this is we are looking into the same matter. So how you just sack somebody from your own account by saying that this was not me, this was never done. What now you're talking about Dilip Ghosh also. So now you're asking, now what about you, Supriya Shinde? What about you?
No, but you have to set an example too, right? If the BJP wants to believe that they stand for Shakti more than other parties, then you've got to stand up for that as well.
There are times that the tickets have not been given to many of those, but when we look around with these kind of people, they are the ones who does not walk the talk. And this is where we talk about when if it comes from BJP, now they are doing a halla gulla and all that stuff. But when it is from Supriya Supriya, she should not be accountable. Being the chairman itself, and she's talking about something which does not make a sense, and making that poor guy a
the sense you get is
does
this.
not make a sense.
Can I just come in now?
Yeah.
The sense you get is this. All political parties are guilty of such behavior from time to time from their members, and virtually all political parties try to just brush it under the carpet. And when it comes to taking credit about women's reservation bill or wanting more female participation, everybody is number one. But what happens when you come to such statements is a larger question we have to ask. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. Moving on 21st March, Delhi Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party Chief Arvind Kejriwal was arrested by the ED in connection with the excise policy alleged scam. Now, he's the first sitting Chief Minister to be arrested, and he has already declared that he will not be quitting and will be running the government from jail. In the last 3 days, Arvind Kejriwal has reportedly issued 2 orders while in ED custody. A lot of eyebrows have been raised by these assertions or claims that have been made by their party leaders but also ministers in the Delhi government. A massive war of words has erupted over this. The BJP has attacked the Chief Minister over his misconduct and called these orders illegal and unconstitutional. They've claimed that AAP ministers were misusing their power and authority, but the Aam Aadmi Party has defended their move, saying Kejriwal will not quit. AAP went on to say that if they need it, they will seek permission of the courts to run the government with the CM behind bars. While the AAP cadre is staging protests against the BJP and accusing them of murdering democracy, the Chief Minister, on the other hand, is passing these orders from jail. So what are these orders exactly? On 24th March, Arvind Kejriwal purportedly issued his first order to Atishi Marlena, asked her to address the ongoing water supply and sewer problems in the capital. Today, Arvind Kejriwal has apparently issued a second order from jail regarding the health department. In his order, Arvind Kejriwal told Saurabh Bhardwaj, the minister concerned, to ensure that there is no shortage of free medicines in mohalla clinics and hospitals. But how is Arvind Kejriwal able to give these orders while in ED custody? That's the biggest question that comes to everyone's mind, because Arvind Kejriwal has no access to a computer or files or stationery while in ED custody. It's just not granted to anybody in ED custody. Lawyers are allowed to meet a person in custody only for legal counsel. They're not there to do this job. The family is allowed to offer emotional support and, of course, discuss other matters. But nobody from the government has met Arvind Kejriwal in custody. So how is he giving these instructions? And how are they being passed around? Rules don't allow any such instructions to be issued while in ED custody. So the biggest question is not just whether these claims are actually accurate, but if we were to go by the Aam Aadmi Party's version, how is this happening? And the larger moral question that is still hanging on the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal is, if this is the correct way to go about it, should Arvind Kejriwal instead not resign?
आपका मुख्यमंत्री चाहे जेल में है, मगर सोच वो सिर्फ आपके लिए रहा है, सिर्फ और सिर्फ जनता के लिए मुख्यमंत्री सोच रहे हैं। और उनकी चिंता यही है कि उनके जाने के बाद पीछे कोई व्यवस्था खराब ना हो।
ये दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री का ऑर्डर है और मुख्यमंत्री जी ने ईडी कस्टडी में जेल में रहते हुए ही ऑर्डर पास किया। ये टोटल इलीगल था, अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल था और ये मुख्यमंत्री के ऑफिस का मिसयूज है।
All right, Anuja Kapoor of the BJP stays with us. Siddharth Sharma of the Aam Aadmi Party is joining us. Swapnil Kotari is noted lawyer with us as well. Swapnil, why don't I begin with you? What do you make of these claims being made that Arvind Kejriwal is somehow passing instructions to people he hasn't met in custody? How is this possible?
Good evening, Shivani. I believe that some half an hour is allowed for him to meet people. From that's what I heard. And maybe in that he's passing his orders. Now, to be very accurate legally, I don't see that there is any constitutional bar. Unless, of course, you're convicted, you've got to demit office. Now, if Hemant Soren resigned because there was some case against him, that's his lookout, that's his morality. My morality as Delhi Chief Minister possibly is a little tougher in that sense that, I'm not that kind of a person who's going to resign so immediately. Tomorrow, if there could be a fictitious case against me, am I just supposed to quit? I'm giving you both sides of the coin. And in this, of course, ED has a case because obviously, you have a 50 crore house, which is disproportionate to your income. And of course, you've got a lot of questions to ask. And more importantly, Shivani, let me tell you that there was an application that was filed in the Supreme Court to prevent his arrest. That was withdrawn the moment he got arrested. Then there was an application in the Supreme Court to be heard overnight or maybe early next morning, which again was also withdrawn. And it was decided by the lawyers to fight out the battle in the remand in the trial court. Now, obviously, that is a legal strategy that they've adopted.
I'll come to that in just a bit. Swapnil, I'll come to that in just a bit. Surely you don't have to answer the moral question that Arvind Kejriwal faces. I'll post that to the politicians on the panel. But what is interesting is that Atishi has claimed she has a document sent to her from the ED custody with Arvind Kejriwal's directions. Now, that is what is raising eyebrows. Do you find that odd?
I do actually, because I don't know where is the typewriter, where is how it is sent, under what directions and how. So basically, that is something best which only the Aam Aadmi people can answer. And, I'm not interested in this more so because I'm more interested in the larger question. Of course, these are all questions you've asked very pertinent questions. Those raise eyebrows as to how exactly this government is being run from inside the jail.
Because that is the larger question. If you can, as the chief minister, even if you don't hold a portfolio, run a government from inside jail. I'll come back to you in just a bit, Swapnil, but let me take that same question to Siddharth Sharma. Siddharth, what's going on? The ED or the manuals are very clear. You don't have any access to any stationery, any paper, pen. Certainly your lawyers are not doing this. If they are, is this the right use in letter and spirit of your time with your lawyer? These questions arise. So how are these instructions, especially written orders, being given?
Yeah, Shivani, I hope I'm audible.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, this seems to be a classic case of kettle being hotter than the tea here. A constitutional authority sworn to serve the people of Delhi is serving people. It's as simple as that. And the TV studios have an objection to that. Surprisingly, the Enforcement Directorate doesn't have an objection to it as of yet now. Now, there is a simple thing, and I think Swapnil will answer this better. Wherever there is a crime, there are three entities in a crime. One is a victim, one is the perpetrator, and the third is a prosecutor. The prosecutor right now is the Prime Minister of India, the PMO office, under which the ED comes. Surprisingly, the Prime Minister is a teetotaler. Now, the victim, the perpetrator here is called as Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Surprisingly, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal doesn't eat even onions or garlic. The third is the victim here. The point here is that the consumers here, not a single consumer has filed a case. So this is essentially a joke. That
no, you are discussing the merits of the case. Siddharth, 1 second. You are discussing the merits of the case. Let's refrain from.
There is no crime.
Okay, fine. Let's refrain from discussing the merits of the case. I think we've done that in the run-up to Arvind Kejriwal's arrest. Plus, the party better argue this in court. If there was no case...
Why are you having this debate?
1 second. If there was no case to be made out, certainly some of your leaders, including Minister concerned of the time, Excise Minister Swapnil...
I'll answer to that.
Excise Minister Manish Sisodia at the time would not have been in jail for a year if there was prima facie no case. So I'm just saying, let's not get into that because that's not the focus of today's debate. The focus of today's debate is if it is believable that Arvind Kejriwal is somehow issuing some written orders from inside ED custody, and secondly, if he should be doing this to begin with. Let me bring in Anuja now. Anuja, constitutionally, most people say while there may be no precedent to this, there is no bar to this either. So what is your objection to one Arvind Kejriwal, quote unquote, running his government from custody?
So, Jai Shri Ram, Shivani, we see another, motor mouth sitting here.
Let's not do this. No. Let's not do this. Anuja, let's not do this. Let's not make any comments on other panelists,
every
please.
time, you will listen it very soon when I am going to speak. He'll do that because I know that. Now, what we're going to say is that the constitutional post of Arvind Kejriwal, when he says that I do not want to resign, but inside in ED has not given him any kind of a computer and any kind of a gadget from where he can do this kind of things. Either he does not believe in his own two ministers who are of those departments, Atishi and Saurabh Bhardwaj, who are capable of taking care of their own departments, and they need a spoon feeding from inside from the Tihar jail or from the remand. So what he's looking into is who is the one who is an intermediator in between Arvind Kejriwal and these two people, how he has been taking care of this portal, who has been guiding them, and how the things are been happening. Because when we see around the government, which I have also on the record, that the High Court warned Delhi Minister Saurabh Bhardwaj, we will send you to jail regarding the same health.
No, that's a different issue.
Been happening.
Can I ask you though, Anuja? Can I ask you though, if Arvind Kejriwal, 1 second, if Arvind Kejriwal was to insist that he will run his government from, let's say, in custody, tomorrow he could be in jail proper as well. What is it that the BJP's objection is?
There is no CMO connect with him. He's using the CMO office, how the things are happening, how he is passing on the orders. That is the same thing we are asking. We're definitely asking this question to the ED and to these people, how and how he is taking it off.
Okay.
Because the CCTV
so it's not so much a moral question per se, while that moral question exists, Siddharth, but it is also a practical question. How are you going to run your government from custody?
Yeah, let me answer to the moral question first. So basically, the surmise here is that anybody under ED investigation is morally supposed to resign, right? Now ask the same question to Mr. Hemant Biswa Sharma, who is the Chief Minister of Assam, and he will throw the Constitution book on Anuja Kapoor's face. It's as simple as that. And I think Swapnil will also agree to that. Okay. What is good for the goose is good for the gander. Now coming to the larger point here. Why are you shouting, Anuja? Anuja, when you are speaking, I was listening. You get nervous, and when you get nervous, you start shouting. You're not letting the other person speak.
Okay.
So Shivani, if she wants to speak,
come in once again?
why are you showing me?
I will try to give all of you appropriate amount of time. But if you want to be heard, then it's better one person at a time. Anuja, please hold on. Siddharth.
giving the orders?
One second.
Giving the orders?
Anuja, please hold on. I asked you that question. You've had your say. Siddharth, so you were talking about the moral question plus also the practical question. Is it fair for Arvind Kejriwal to hold on to be the chief minister without portfolios and, give this sense that, okay, I'm still working from jail because I have this sense of service? All of that may be fine. But practically, can he run the government from jail?
So is it fair that now the game is, your question has tilted. Now you're asking about the fair play. Now, is it fair when the model code of conduct is in place and Mr. Arvind Kejriwal as the leader of Aam Aadmi Party is supposed to campaign? How can the ED arrest him? Is it fair that Mr. Hemant Biswa Sharma, who is also under ED investigation, he can be the chief minister? So essentially you are saying that BJP has an immunity to abuse law. BJP can burn anybody's house with the matchbox, but I cannot even cook my food with a matchbox.
So the question I was asking you was exactly the opposite. The question I was asking you was one, that even if you were to surpass the moral question of he should continue as the chief minister, which no other politician has ever done in Indian history, the question is about practicality. How can he run a government when he doesn't have access to government files, he doesn't have access to his ministers or other officials concerned? You're sidestepping that question.
No, I'm not sidestepping.
One by one, please. Only Siddharth and me, please.
Anuja, you are asking me a practical question. The practical answer is BJP has confessed to 60 crore of liquor scam accused money parked in its garage. So BJP takes funds from money launderers. Now Kejriwal got arrested on BJP funders statement. Fine, you arrested him. Now since the law is equal to all, now the 60 crore question to BJP supporters is Vishwaguru Pradhanji running the government or are BJP funders like Mr. Reddy running the government? Since ED investigation,
you're sidestepping the question
BJP,
again.
Everything
cannot be, look what so-and-so is doing.
Kejriwal was. India now suspects Pradhanji grip on BJP.
I don't understand.
It is the Reddys and those people who have given 8,250
Okay, Siddharth, can I come in now? You must really feel that I've given you a lot of time today because every time I ask you a question, you give absolutely unconnected answers. But my point is this, you've taken such a big call on telling the public of Delhi that, listen, the chief minister may be in jail, but no new chief minister will be appointed, even though that has been the political norm in India. I've given you repeated opportunities to explain that stance to the public, but you're not doing it. Anyways, I want to go across to Swapnil Kotari now. Sorry, Siddharth, I gave you an opportunity repeatedly. Swapnil Kotari, do you think that eventually there is a possibility that the LG could invoke the sections available to him, and we refer to some of those sections that is available, particularly in the case of the National Capital Territory of Delhi, where, there is a breakdown of constitutional machinery. Do you think there could be a fit case here?
Well, I doubt it because, you see, the LG may come up and say whatever it wants to and say that, I should be standing in the CM's shoes now. CM was all along the ones who had the power as per the Supreme Court judgment on key issues. But, the question...
that either a new chief minister is appointed. Surely the LG cannot be chief minister. Either a new chief minister is appointed or there should be president's rule.
Correct, exactly. So that's what I'm trying to say. So, Shivani, the thing is that they can say whatever they want, but at the end of the day, ultimately, when this matter will be battled out in the court, to resign or not to resign is for the enforcement directorate to tell the Supreme Court, because the larger question, as you asked, is that you cannot run a government from behind bars. You do not have access to all the things that you had when you sat in your office, in your chambers, in your office. You don't have that, and you have basically only half an hour time to meet
So
people.
the ED
from
could
whatever I've
possibly
heard.
go to court.
ED
We're
could
hearing
say
that the ED already is very suspicious of this claim that has come in from Atishi.
Exactly.
They will likely do some sort of
They-
internal
more likely.
inquiry,
But-
and they could go
yeah,
to
but I
court
want
and
to-
say that the conditions of meetings that are allowed to an accused in our custody are being violated.
Absolutely. They could say that. And they could also say that this is not the way to run a government. The Supreme Court may pass an order. You can temporarily suspend the operations of the government. I don't know what the Supreme Court in its wisdom would do, and then who would be taking its stead, whether it would be the deputy CM or whatever it may be. But Shivani, my question is on a bigger point. Now, I can understand, the Aam Aadmi Party spokesman, losing his cool and, going a little bit in a larger tone. But, that only defeats the purpose, because when you shout out loud, you tend to sort of, weigh into the opposition's point of view more so. You need to be very calm and composed in this. And second part, more importantly, the legal point, which I have not liked personally as a lawyer. If I am a lawyer and if I'm opposing, even if my client is at fault, assuming that Mr. Kejriwal is at fault. I do not know. I'm not the enforcement directorate, but I believe enforcement directorates do not just come out with these cases. When you have 9 summons to issue, you should have come within the first 3 summons itself. You cannot tell a court of law that, at the very first summons, I would have been arrested. The immediate question from the judge would be, oh, so that means you are guilty? अरे ऐसे थोड़ी ना होता है कि आपको फर्स्ट समझ में बुला लिया आपको कोई भी अरेस्ट कर ले. Okay, that's one. Number 2, the second point, Shivani, let me finish. The second point is very, very important, is that when he was about to be arrested, why was this thing withdrawn by the lawyers in the Supreme Court, his prevention of arrest? 1. 2, next day also they said that, okay, we'll not fight it out in the Supreme Court. We'll not fight for the quashing of the proceedings. We'll fight it out in the trial court. Now, these are the very important points.
I think they took the cue in the fact that K. Kavita's plea 1 did not get any relief.
Exactly,
and in the past,
exactly.
particularly under PMLA sections, there is no room for a court to give you that kind of leeway.
Yes,
and in any case, I don't think the Supreme Court would like to be seen as interfering in a politician's case. They will ask them to go back to the requisite court, which is the trial court in this case. Anuja, final 30 seconds to you as well. Is it a moral question or is it a practical question? Again, I ask you, what is your problem if Arvind Kejriwal runs the government from inside jail?
There are both the questions, moral as well as legal. What we are looking into is that how do you going to do it from the inside the jail? Secondly, on the moral background, where Arvind Kejriwal, when he came to power, he was the one who was shouting at the top of his voice that during the investigation, everybody should come down from their post and should resign and should not be into that constitutional post at all. You are being an elected CM, sir. And Arvind Kejriwal, how can you give this an example to the people around? You are unconstitutional, unethically sitting on your post, which does not belong to you anymore on moral background. So you have to come off on this and you have to figure it out. Everybody on this point, whereas BJP has already given their complaint to the LG and to the ED, and we're talking about this, how he has been signing when you do not have your ministers with you.
Okay, all right. I think ultimately it is both a moral and a practical question. The practical question may come up in court sooner rather than later, but there is an attempt to make this a moral and a political question, which will be ultimately judged by the public.
Like Anuja had. Can I also have 10 seconds like Anuja
10 seconds, please. Yes, Siddharth.
Yeah, when the Vishwaguru Pradhanji can stop the Russia-Ukraine war sitting in India without going to Russia or Ukraine, I think Arvind Kejriwal sitting in Delhi can run Delhi. Then my 10 seconds is over, so I rest my case. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Like I said, ultimately the public will be the judge of whether that is the right thing to do in politics. Thank you for that, Siddharth, Anusha and Swapnil. I do thank you all for joining us. Have to shift to a very short break. On the other side, we'll get you some more news and updates.
Front.
So yes, what sources in the Delhi police have confirmed to us that no specific permission to carry out this protest from Patel Chowk Metro Station to the Prime Minister's office has officially been taken from the Delhi police, and hence no permission has been given. As a precautionary measure, the Delhi police has amped up security out here in the national capital, making sure that no one is allowed to gather anywhere close, especially to the Prime Minister's office or from the place where the call has been given to start the protest. So yes, it remains to be seen how will things eventually turn out for the Aam Aadmi Party. But one thing is for sure, that Aam Aadmi Party will not be allowed to carry out any protest in any way or any manner, or even gather out here in central Delhi, because Section 144 has also been imposed out here as a precautionary measure by the Delhi police. So yes, things are going to get difficult if at all the Aam Aadmi Party still decides to go ahead and carry out this protest.
Right, Anshul. Anshul, in fact, the last time we had seen the kind of protest that had already broken out in the national capital with leaders being detained. There was Saurabh Bhardwaj, there was Atishi, who were all detained from the protest sites. Are we looking at such a scenario today? And if you could just take us through the security measures that have been taken by the police to make sure such an untoward situation doesn't occur.
So yes, there is a lot of security that has been deployed over here at this point in time. And last time we saw that how leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party were actually detained. But this time around as well, it is highly expected that detention could yet again happen if at all the leaders continue to come over here. If you could just show you around over here, there is a lot of security that has already been deployed on ground zero. A lot of security police personnel, not only men but also personnel, have also been deployed on the ground. The message is very, very clear from the side of Delhi police that no specific permission has been taken and hence no permission has been given. So anyone trying to come out and carry out any sort of protest...
Right, Anshul. Right, Anshul, sorry to interrupt you there, but thank you for bringing us all those details. Do stay with us. Right now, we also have Arun Dhanta joining us on the broadcast to bring us more details. Arun, a very good morning to you. Very firstly, this new campaign that's been started by the Aam Aadmi Party, Modi ka sabse bada dar Kejriwal. We have seen the kind of protests and kind of slogans that have been coming in from the Aam Aadmi Party with regards to Arvind Kejriwal. How are we looking at this particular campaign that's being started by them today?
Well, see, both Aam Aadmi Party and BJP will be protesting today in Delhi. Of course, Aam Aadmi Party will try to gherav the residence of Prime Minister Modi, which of course will not be possible as per the Delhi police security arrangements. They will not give them permission to actually start their protest, even somewhere close to Prime Minister Modi's residence. As far as various campaigns are concerned, yes, of course, Aam Aadmi Party would want to, take this message to everyone across that, look, what BJP is doing is only a political vendetta and they are killing democracy. And that has been the stand of Aam Aadmi Party leaders. Not only a single day when we had not seen Aam Aadmi Party workers and leaders hitting the street ever since Arvind Kejriwal was arrested. In fact, in this regard, we are also given to understand that, India Alliance is planning a big rally in Delhi on 31st of March in Ramleela Maidan. So perhaps many are saying that Arvind Kejriwal's arrest in this entire case is becoming a kind of a glue for the opposition parties to come together. And of course, one of the campaigns which Aam Aadmi Party has started is that they are using Arvind Kejriwal's DP, behind the bar is something which we are told. And today, of course, we are also told that BJP simultaneously will be protesting.
Speculations of a possible tie-up between the BJP and the Shiromani Akali Dal in Punjab for the Lok Sabha elections has finally ended. The BJP has decided to go solo for all 13 Lok Sabha seats in the state. BJP Punjab chief Sunil Jakhar said the party took the decision on the basis of feedback from party workers. But BJP sources are indicating to CNN News 18 the party wasn't willing to give up its claim on 2 seats, Ludhiana and Anand Sahib. BJP wanted a 4-6 division, while the Akalis weren't willing to give more than 2 to 3 seats. We'll leave you with some reactions. Thanks a lot for watching.
Shiromani Akali Dal एक कोई मामूली सियासी पार्टी नहीं है, एक असूलों की पार्टी है। साढ़े वास्ते असूल ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है नंबर गेम तो। साढ़े वास्ते जो असी कोर कमेटी ने बड़ा क्लीयर किया है, साढ़े असूल की है, साढ़े जिहड़ी बहुत मसले हैं पंजाब विच भाईचारक सांझ, अमन शांति, आ जिन्नियां दिल्ली दी पार्टियां, नैशनल पार्टियां, वो तां आपां कल्ली वोट की राजनीति करदियां। ਅਸੀਂ ਵੋਟ ਦੀ ਰਾਜਨੀਤੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਹੈ।
ਭਾਰਤੀ ਜਨਤਾ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਸਭਾ ਚੋਣ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਲੜਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਆਹ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੀ ਰਾਏ, ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਵਰਕਰਸ ਦੀ ਰਾਏ, ਲੀਡਰ ਸਾਹਿਬਾਨ ਦੀ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਰਾਏ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਭਵਿੱਖ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀ ਜਵਾਨੀ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੀ ਕਿਸਾਨੀ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਪਾਰੀ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਸਨਅਤਕਾਰ, ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਮਜ਼ਦੂਰ, ਸਾਡਾ ਪਿਛੜਿਆ ਵਰਗ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਬਿਹਤਰੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ, ਇੱਕ ਉਜਵਲ ਭਵਿੱਖ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਹ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਲਿਆ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੋ ਕੰਮ BJP ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਮੋਦੀ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਰਹਿਨਮਾਈ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀਤੇ ਨੇ, ਕਿਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਓਲੇ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ।
Viewers, we are in the 21st century, but the gaze upon women remains alloyed to a regressive medievalism. A progressive Indian woman like Kangana Ranaut, who is breaking stereotypes, remains unfortunately an object of derision. Kangana Ranaut has realized this the hard way. A social media post that emerged from a Congress female spokesperson's Instagram account insinuated that the BJP had given the ticket to a woman of loose morals who was easily purchasable. Yes, viewers, this is how distasteful that particular social media post is. It didn't help that the distasteful commentary was accompanied by a risque photograph of Kangana Ranaut. Let me, viewers, introduce you to what this quote said. It said, "Does anyone know what is the going rate in Mandi?" Now this post, viewers, as you can see on your screens, featured on the Instagram timeline on Supriya Shrinate, who is the Congress spokesperson. The Supriya Shrinate, the Congress spokesperson, who has in the past been criticized for being voluble and irascible, had claimed that her social media account had been hacked. Kangana Ranaut didn't waste any time in hitting back. Ranaut also cleverly weaved in another dimension by alleging that the spiritually minded and enlightened people of Mandi had been insulted because Supriya Shrinate had dared to suggest that they would purchase a woman of loose morals, that their vote, in other words, was purchasable. This is what Kangana Ranaut said, viewers.
किसी भी महिला का कोई भी, चाहे उनका व्यवसाय हो, कोई भी उनका काम हो, पेशा हो, हर महिला, चाहे वो टीचर हो, चाहे वो एक्ट्रेस हो, चाहे वो जर्नलिस्ट हो, चाहे वो राजनीतिज्ञ हो, या वो चाहे सेक्स वर्कर हो, किसी भी तरीके की जो महिला हैं वो डिग्निटी जो है वो डिजर्व करती हैं। और किसी भी महिला को अपमानित करना, उसके सेक्सुअलाइज करना, और खासकर सबसे ज़्यादा जो मुझे दुख हुआ है वो जो मंडी, जिसे छोटा काशी कहा जाता है, पूरे विश्व में छोटे काशी के नाम से प्रसिद्ध है, जहाँ पे ऋषि पराशर से लेकर ऋषि मार्कंडेय जी ने तपस्या की है, उसके बारे में इतनी भद्दी टिप्पणी, तो हम सब मंडी वासी जो हैं वो बहुत ही कष्ट हमें हुआ है इस चीज़ को लेकर।
The BJP, of course, went to town calling out the Congress and the Gandhis for their silence on the anti-woman commentary. But no sooner that it targeted Priyanka Gandhi for letting down the ladki by not acting against Supriya Shrinate, the opposition got a reprieve, viewers. This is because a senior BJP leader in Bengal went on an offensive tirade against Mamata Banerjee, the chief minister of the state. Listen in to Mr. Ghosh of the BJP.
নিজের ভাইপোকে চায়, বিহার ইউপি থেকে। দিদি গিয়ে গোয়াতে বলেন আমি গোয়ার মেয়ে, ত্রিপুরায় আমি ত্রিপুরার মেয়ে, আমার বাপ তো ঠিক করুন, যাত্রার মেয়ে হওয়া ঠিক।
Well, the opportunity provided by BJP leader Ghosh has led to a blame game where both the BJP and the Congress have now tried to position themselves as the true benefactors of the Indian Nari. Viewers, Jairam Ramesh said that the BJP has no business in trying to suggest that it speaks up for women and the Congress doesn't, especially because crimes against women under BJP's watch have doubled in 10 years. To which Smriti Irani, the WCD minister, viewers, responded by saying, women empowered by NDA to report crimes, and that's why the number of crimes that are officially on record have gone up. It's just a statistical exercise. Correction. 40 projects have been funded for women uplift via the Nirbhaya Fund since 2014. And she said that under the UPA, there was zero spend from the Nirbhaya Fund. Jairam Ramesh said WCD budget growth rate at 20% is under UPA versus 3.4% under NDA. To which Smriti Irani said gender-specific allocations over 3.09 lakh crore in 24-25, which is a 215% increase in gender-driven allocations from 2014 to 2015. Jairam Ramesh says Asha and Anganwadi workers forced to sell assets during COVID, to which Smriti Irani said honorarium boost of 1,500-2,000 for mobile data and insurance cover. It just goes on, viewers, between the two. Jairam Ramesh says Congress promises to double Asha and Anganwadi income if elected. Smriti Irani said Asha and Anganwadi workers are key beneficiaries of Ayushman Bharat and other welfare schemes. Jairam Ramesh saying that, look, don't try to lecture us on defending women interests, because in 2022-2023, CMI report shows female labour participation was at 8.8% only in the Indian economy under the Modi government. Smriti Irani has hit back and says 2022-23 PLFS report shows 4.2% surge in female worker participation to 37%. The Prime Minister, while not referring directly to the insult heaped on Kangana today, spoke to another BJP woman candidate. Indeed, the Prime Minister called Rekha Patra, who has survived the Sandesh Khali horror in Bengal, and called her, quote, Shakti Swarup, unquote. The idea, of course, is to drive home his personal and BJP's collective appreciation for Nari Shakti. The reason is not hard to miss, viewers. The woman voter is highly influential today, and the BJP has benefited most electorally from the support of women. And let me give you some hard facts to tell you just how important the Nari Shakti factor has become in electoral politics. Viewers, the hard facts, and I always tell you the hard facts to get you closer to the truth, so you begin to understand and contextualize why there is this huge war over what has been insinuated about Kangana Ranaut, viewers. In 12 states, women voters outnumber men. The turnout among women voters is higher in 18 out of 25 states where polls took place in the last 5 years, viewers. In the union capital of Delhi, for instance, the participation of women voters has increased by 4.24% since 1993. Not an insignificant number when you really look at this translated into absolute numbers. It's huge, viewers. Women's share among voters who exercised their franchise since 2009 Lok Sabha polls has gone up from 45.7% to 48.15% in 2019. Women voters hold the key to 4 tribal Lok Sabha seats in Jharkhand alone. Of 2.63 crore new voters included in the electoral roll for 2024, women number 1.4 crores, which is 15% more than male voters, viewers. And therefore today we have to ask, is the Congress losing the perception battle when it comes to currying favor with the Nari of India, with the woman voter of India? Remember, as I told you, viewers, the new voters, whether it is youth women or women in general, more of them have been voting for the BJP. and comments attributed to Supriya Shrinate, whether she put them out herself or as she alleges her account was hacked by one of her own social media unit workers, we can't say. But the fact is that the Congress has not taken action against Supriya Shrinate, not even issued a show cause officially to seek some sort of a response on record. And I said, viewers, is its defense on the contrary of Supriya Shrinate too weak and too little to stem the perception that it actually stands and speaks up for women? Let's open this up, viewers, because this issue needs to be debated threadbare. Women constitute, as I told you, viewers, a huge number of voters, an increasing number of voters, and I want to bring in, first things first, a journalist who has been looking at elections for a long while. She also speaks, really, viewers, as a woman today on this show, and therefore, I want to begin with the editor of ANI, Smita Prakash. Now, Smita Prakash, you know, Supriya Shrinate has tweeted something, or posted something on Instagram, whether it has been done by her office or by somebody who had access to her password or whatever it is. She hasn't apologized on record. She's just said that, look, it wasn't me. Now, how do you see, first of all, her stance? Number two, the Congress's own stance, given the fact that it has launched an aggressive Ladki Hoon, Lad Sakti Hoon campaign in the past, which was championed by Priyanka Gandhi Vadra herself.
Thank you, Rahul. Look, it's more than 24 hours since that ugly post was put up. And even if grants her benefit of doubt, and you play the devil's advocate and say that, okay, maybe she wasn't aware of it, she could have just apologized on behalf of whoever did it and said that whatever happened is wrong and I will correct this. That is what I would have done in her position. She's also a former journalist, has worked the same time as I was doing beat reporting. But you know, since the past 24 hours and about 4 hours after, during that, when she put that post up and subsequently, the discourse was so ugly. Nothing is getting sorted out. In the past 24 hours, it's all these party spokespersons going on air on various channels saying, oh, you did this, you said that, and gross comments that everybody has made. And notice the silence in the past 24 hours from these self-appointed upholders of morality on Twitter and Facebook and all. None of them want to speak against it, right? What about that Ahir person, HS Ahir or whatever his name is, ghastly tweet that he did? What about Mrinal Pandey? It's so upsetting. Such a senior journalist. She knows. Why did she have to? She's the founder member of the Women's Press Corps. And what did she say? Mandi ka rate. It's so disgusting that people that you looked up to and think that they are the upholders of the right discourse in our society, they are the ones who have let us down completely. Feet of clay. That's all I can say. It's the derogatory slurs one after the other by politicians on women who are on either side of the political spectrum. It is disgusting. And the strange thing is that you think that these are powerful women, whether it's Kangana, whether it is Smriti Irani, whether it is Jayalalitha, Sonia Gandhi, Indira Gandhi, you would think that these are powerful women and so they will not get that. So who are the people who the women who get into the workforce today? What will they think? Look at the fear that they would come in their minds if these powerful women are targeted in such a disgusting manner, in major aggression, not microaggression, full frontal attacks. What light do we have? Look at...
Smita Prakash, though it's inexcusable, the Congress has a motive. But you mentioned, curiously, Mrinal Pandey. I'm not very familiar with what Mrinal Pandey has said. And she, of course, has been part of the Congress ecosystem. I believe an editor of also the Congress magazine at some point, and was also part of the government Prasar Bharati initiative. Now what has she
National
said?
Herald.
National Herald, yes. So sorry, National Herald. Yes. What has she said? I'm not conversant with this fact. What has she said?
So she also came out at the same time, just a couple, maybe an hour or hour and a half after Supriya Srinath's tweet, that Ahir and Mrinal Pandey, they came out with their tweets, and then there were like small random people who were doing it. But why do I bring up Mrinal Pandey is because she's been editor of Hindustan Times, she's been editor of National Herald, she was in Prasar Bharati, headed Prasar Bharati. Look at the hundreds of, if not thousands of women who have worked under her. And if she starts talking about rate in a mandi, and she deleted the tweet when somebody brought that out, but so what? She deleted it only after Supriya Srinath deleted it. Till then it was still up. When people started reporting on it, then she deleted it. But it doesn't matter. The point is, that's your mindset. That after such a huge body of work, having headed so many organizations of repute, you turn around and behave like a troll on social media? Is that what is expected out of women leaders? To pull down other women leaders? No, that's not what it should be. So whereas Supriya Srinath has said what she did and her Twitter handle did what she did, she's a politician, and maybe someone got carried away, maybe she got carried away. What about Mrinal Pandey? That upsets me more than the others.
Yeah, and it does suggest that this was not some sort of accident, and that's rather unfortunate, isn't it, Mr. Kamru Chaudhary? This is not nice. This is distasteful, and I'm surprised that not even a show cause notice has been issued. Yes, you can try and, of course, distance yourself from this particular post, but a show cause on record would have elicited at least this response, which would then have been open to further examination.
Yeah, absolutely, Rahul. Though the comment, Supriya ji has already disowned the comment, deleted it from her account, and more or less I feel it was a rather a proper apology she has given as a video message to the people, wherein she disowned this thing. But I am appalled and disgusted at the way the last 2 nights have been going on national television. I am not blaming particularly your channel out. A narrative is being set up that somebody has said something to this within the 24 hours. The narrative has changed to Dilip Ghosh of the Bharatiya Janata Party. And in your introductory comments, you have made a passing reference to it. Thank you for making that passing reference. But don't you think that the comments of the BJP candidate of Medipur, of Bardhaman Durgapur constituency deserves more serious condemnation, who is calling a sitting chief minister, though not from my party,